One of the founding principles of CBSMoneyWatch.com is that financial success depends less on your portfolio strategy and size of your 401k than your success at work. Marshall Goldsmith, maybe the world's best-known executive coach, has come to a very similar conclusion in a very different way. He's just written a new book, Mojo, How to Get It, How to Keep It, How to Get It Back If You Lose It. Hi, Marshall. Welcome.
Great to be here. Thank you.
You talk a lot about achieving happiness and meaning at work. Now, those are great things to have, but they're not particularly businesslike. They don't necessarily have things to do with work and career, do they?
They have a lot to do with it. Imagine that your leader comes in every day and communicates a message, I'm unhappy to be here. Well, what's that say about you? I don't like you. This isn't meaningful. What's that say about the company? This place is a waste. So the best leaders I've ever met get incredibly high scores on Mojo. They consistently communicate a sense of happiness and meaning. Now that's, as it turned out, not why I wrote the book. That was probably the thing I learned in writing the book that was my biggest realization, how important it is to others. That's not why I wrote the book, though.
Why did you write the book?
To help people have happier, more meaningful lives. And by the way, if any of your listeners would rather have a miserable or a less meaningful life, they shouldn't read the book.
Oh, yes. Well, good. Well, that's probably a minority of our readers.
Yeah.
One of the great things about all your books is you have this unerring sense for piercing the bad habits of high-achieving people. And one of the ones you bring up a lot in the newest book is inertia. Talk about that.
My favorite 3 lines in the book. Our default reaction in life is not to experience happiness. Our default reaction in life is not to experience meaning. Our default reaction in life is to experience inertia. We all tend to go where we've been going, do what we've been doing, say what we've been saying. And one of the things I have that goes with the book is called the Mojo meter. And I have it on my iPhone. You can get it on your BlackBerry. It's free. And what it does is, at the end of every interaction, you're challenged to ask 2 questions. You rate yourself, 1 to 10 scale. How happy was this and how meaningful was it?
And this pops up on your computer at work.
It does. It's on my little iPhone.
You say one of the tools for success is to take control of your own story.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, one thing we don't think about enough in life is our own reputation, our own story. And basically, who is the you that you want to be? I talk about in the book having dinner with Bono, the famous rock star. I was unfamiliar with his records since they were made past 1975, but we had a lovely, lovely dinner together, and I use him in the book as an example of a person who's created a whole new identity for himself. He was a regular guy, and he's still a regular guy. He uses the F word all the time. He apologized to me. I said, unnecessary. I'm from Valley Station, Kentucky. I thought that was the adjective that preceded all nouns. He then became a music fan, still a music fan. He then became a musician, still a musician. He loves music, not just to make money. And then he became a rock star. Now he's a humanitarian. And he's not a fake. I talked about how we can change the story we have about ourselves. We can change our identity without being phony or false. And we get locked in to unnecessary self-limiting definitions of who we are. But we don't have to.
You conclude the book by saying that the key to happiness is this phrase, you go first. What do you mean?
I've asked thousands of parents around the world this question. When my child grows up, I want my child to be. One word comes up in the answer, more than every other word combined, no matter what country I'm in, happy. You want your children to be happy? You want your parents to be happy? You want the people who love you to be happy? You want the people at work to be happy? You go first. You be happy. They want you to be happy. So one of the things I talk about in the book is one of the important reasons to do this is not just for ourselves, but for other people. And if you pick the greatest leaders I know, that would be General Shinseki, Francis Hesselbein, who Peter Drucker said was the greatest leader he ever met, Alan Mulally, who's now the CEO of the Ford Motor Company. People like that, their Mojo scores are always high. They always communicate a sense of joy in what they're doing. They always communicate a sense of this is meaningful. They never act like their lives or their work are trivial. And that's one of the reasons they're great leaders.
Marshall, that's very interesting. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for watching.